Police arrested then 45-year-old Robert Seaman back on March 17th of 2015 on a charge of raping Corrine. 2 weeks later, and the day his trial was to begin, that house caught fire. In sports, the Cavs beat the Pelicans 107-102 on the ice. Penguins take on Montreal tonight at 7 p.m. Baseball, the Indians and Mariners today at 3:37 on News Radio 570 WKBN. The Pirates, they beat Detroit 13-10 in 13 innings. They'll both take the field today in Detroit at 1 o'clock. From the all-new and 2018 Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 1:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-500-8121. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8121. That's 1-800-500-8121. 1-800-500-8121.
Cord, have you seen the new inventory of trailers at Leonard Truck and Trailer?
Sure have, Cash. And Leonard Truck and Trailer has the trained experts to assure your quality service.
And what a lot of people don't know, our staff actually uses the trailers that they sell.
Our knowledgeable staff will help you make the right decision and help you get the trailer you need for anything.
Don't forget to check out the Armory at LTT, only at Leonard Truck and Trailer.
There's trailers everywhere!
2018 Ford F-150 XLT 302A package. Up to $12,000 off MSRP with financing through FMCC. Donnell Ford, Market Street Boardman at DonnellFord.com.
Discover the Donnell difference.
Tune in every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for the Mahoning Valley Sportsman Show, hosted by Mike Craig. Proudly brought to you by Bolt Construction. Over 35 years of doing things right in the gas and oil industry and airport gathering systems. Online at boltconstruction.cc.
It's a new, incredible restaurant, Bone Shakers, at the Old Timber Lane, Salem.
For your home or business, call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast from News Radio 570 WKBN.
An iHeart radio station.
Clouds will increase through the day as temperatures climb into the lower 50s this afternoon. Rain chances will increase into this evening and become likely overnight. As temperatures dip back into the upper 20s, rain showers will mix to snow showers towards first thing Sunday morning. The Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
Temp is 52.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and they allow us to do this on Saturdays where we get to talk about things that are sort of happening in the tech world, business world, Youngstown in general, and just about pretty much any other topic that is relevant and good to talk about. So we get these couple hours. We open up the phones to you guys. Your comments and your experiences sort of guide us into what is really going on out there and allows us to talk about it openly so that by talking about it publicly, hopefully we help a bunch of people out there that either, two-shot a call or have been experienced. We can give some people sort of the confidence to delve into new territories and, tinker a little bit. The beautiful thing about this industry is the more you play with things, the better you get. And a lot of people are under the impression that if you play with it, it'll break. And so these toys are too expensive to risk breaking. Well, I assure you that what we see come through our office to our bench is more about a lack of education than it is about someone who was tinkering and broke things. So I give you a really good chance that you will get smarter because of your playing and not necessarily put yourself in peril because of the playing. But either way, we get to publicly talk about what we do in front of everybody else. I can answer questions all show long, so if you just need a little bit of guidance or you want to pick my brain, feel free to call 330-729-9977. This has been like a really good week as far as, sort of projecting the next things that we get into. So the history, I think in 2009, I started befriending Dan Rivers when he would go out to the mall, and we started talking about, taking his audience and the audience of 570 and building in a tech segment to do some education, to allow you guys to learn a little bit through the conversations, because I'll tell you, Dan is a big, he delves into the tech world. He likes it. He's a tinkerer. So when you have an interest in it, it's really easy to talk about. And, I was I was in earshot, so he would ask his questions to me, and he thought, man, if I'm getting helped this way, I wonder how many other people would find this valuable to have the ear of somebody who, has done a ton of these. And that's really all it is. I'm just a little ahead of you. This is everything that we do. Anybody can do. It's not out of reach. Budgets are I've put a computer in every home because they're so inexpensive. And then, everybody that fires up a machine can find a way to make it a utility and make it into something where they can get good at something. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this show talking about sort of the nuts and bolts where, every time you've shopped a computer, the most annoying question always comes out is, what are you going to do with it? What are you doing with it, right? Because you don't know how to answer it, but that's the information that's necessary in order to pick out a $500 computer versus a $2,000 computer and everything in between, because that's you qualifying yourself for the right equipment that gets the job done that you're looking at. Well, when you say, I just want to get on the internet, I'll tell you what tech people hear is, I can get on the internet from pretty much any computer on the planet. It doesn't have to have any horsepower whatsoever. So you qualify yourself into the lowest range computer that there is, because that is the most general utility of a computer that you can get. If you can open a browser, you can get to the web, and everybody from grandma to the professional, you can get pretty much any piece of equipment to do that. So when they say, do you play games? Well, the reason that question usually comes up, it's not because we look at you and think that you're at home playing games. We're looking at what the computer does and say, okay, well, at the other end of the spectrum, the other end of the pendulum swing, is games have a huge requirement of resources. So if you answer the questions, yes, I do games, now you've qualified for a machine that has the ability to draw graphics super quick and store a lot of graphics information. In the same ballpark, if you do video production, or you work with a lot of big picture files, you do InDesign or graphics design, that's sort of all in that same classification. Because whereas all computers will publish a minimum system requirements, that means that the system is capable of running the code and won't crash out on you, and all of the the minimums are met. Not to say that a professional developer would ever want to operate on a computer that wasn't at least X. So you have minimum system requirements, and then you have recommended system requirements. That is, somebody says, whereas your computer will run this, I don't ever want to operate on it, so let's try to stay around here. And they tell us what processor that it's going to like. I mean, your processor is sort of like when you do renderings. Right? A rendering is basically a calculation where you create an object based on the math around that object. And so when you push renderings at a video card to display an image on the screen, right, that takes time. So you want really heavy, a really heavy graphics card, because your regular processor on the machine, is going to be overtaxed because it's drawing graphics. So if you're doing games or development or video renderings, you want to make sure that you have a really good video card with a good GPU. Okay, you got a CPU for doing your general processing, and you've got your GPU for your graphics processing. And so your video card will usually have a processor. They have NVIDIA and AMD and a lot of manufacturer names, but they're all kind of achieving the same thing, where they're trying to take the graphics and offload it from what the PC, the motherboard, processor has to do, and do it in the video card expansion. So then the next thing is, okay, we need capacities. We need, how much memory does this thing need in order to operate? So let's just say you're playing a game that pretty much builds an entire world of, dense forest and, other players and animals and buildings and stuff like that. Well, even if it's not displayed on your screen at the moment, it might need it to be in memory so that when you hurry up and access a different screen, you can see all of the detail without having to wait for it to buffer and load up. So maybe it requires a whole bunch of RAM. Most of the RAM that it's loading out there, you don't really use, but it's required because it reads ahead on that stuff, and so that when you go to access the grade, and this is in gameplay, because like I said, that's probably the most extreme use of this hardware that there is. So if you're sitting at home right now, it's like, hey, well, which machine do I want? The $500 machine or do I want the $2,000 machine? And we're going to suspend price for a minute and just say, let's qualify you for the hardware that you need. So here's what these different components do for you after. Let's just say you know what your minimum requirements are. All right, so at my desk, I have an i5, 4-year-old Microsoft Surface tablet, and that is in a role right now that I get up in the morning, check my email, I do some graphics development, so I have Photoshop on it, I do all of my web, I also usually have like YouTube music playing in the background. And so I make this checklist of things that I usually do that's part of my regular routine, and then I point at the equipment and say, okay, well, it's keeping up. It's doing everything I need it to. It's got the hard drive capacity because I'm not really creating big data. It's got enough memory so that everything that I have, multitasking and in tabs, it's doing really well. The graphics are fine because I'm just displaying it on the local one, and I have an external monitor that's sitting next to it. So it's good for a really, really long time. Then I started noticing that when I was playing some videos, that while the video was playing on the small screen on the tablet, that my screens on the other the tabs on the other screen, they started moving a little bit slower. So the video started saying, "Hey, I just got my first sense that there's a deficiency in what that video card can do when you're taking a primary screen and an extended desktop when I have video on one of them." So then I started thinking, okay, well, it's getting rough here. I'm still putting up with it. Every once in a while it'll stagger, but I know I put it on the replacement list so that when that's an issue, if it starts getting worse or I ask the computer to do more things, that's going to be an issue. And sure enough, I have a monitor that I put a task list on it. And so the monitor just stays there static, and it displays one screen that I can see in front of me, and I keep it the same thing. So think about it like a bunch of sticky notes. Instead of sticking on the computer, I have that on a screen permanently. When I added that third screen, that's when the Surface really started to choke. And so videos were no longer something that it was possible to do if I wanted any of my other screens to be able to run with any, if it's proficient at it and not locking up or lagging out or anything like that. So I put on the docket here that I'm going to get another i5 desktop. Okay, I'm just going to take a spare that we have from the office, and I'm going to put a better video card in because the i5 was fine. It wasn't when things were processing that was killing me. They had enough memory and it had enough disk space, so I didn't have to get a really expensive machine. It's a $500 i5 with a 120 gig solid state drive and 8 gigs of memory. And then I took a video card that was about $125 and I put it in that setup. Now that video card is going to do a much better job of giving me my primary display, my secondary display, and then shooting the display off to one of the Chromecasts that I have in office. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm almost guaranteeing that it will do another job. So I'm going to free the Surface up to go out and become a tablet again rather than being the hub that's on my desktop. So I'm kind of letting you in on the thinking of how we qualify the equipment for the role that you're asking it to do. And if you can't answer the question of what are you going to have it do, then that's what you need to start with before you go shopping or before you ask what hardware, because it's not a sales gig. I'm not going to sell you equipment that you don't need. I'm looking to line you up with the equipment that does what you need, the best that you can possibly get without, we don't try to oversell. We're not going to get you into an i7 when really all you really need is an i5, because then you just paid $600 and you'll never experience the benefit of the better hardware that you paid for. If grandma gets on the internet and she plays a couple of, Java-based games, what machine do you want to sell her is the exact machine that she's going to need between now and 5 years from now. Because that's the second half of this, the little asterisk. So if you tell me you're a gamer, I've got to sell you enough machine to keep you playing games now and until the next time you're ready to replace this machine. So I got to get you at least 5 years out of it. So I'm going to be going into the future and saying, hey, here's a kid. Is he more likely to play more games or less games? Okay, well, let's talk about it. Are you going to play more games? And then I get to set him up a little bit, maybe a couple, a current version. Instead of last year's video card, I might sell him the current video card. Or I might say, let's wait a little while because a new one's coming out. And so, like I said, we guide people through these purchases because there's a lot of thinking that goes in, so you don't do what I do, and, the tinkerers waste all the money, right? Because we buy 5 of the wrong thing until we buy the right thing. But if you talk to a non-sales computer guy, then they're going to be able to help qualify you into the lowest price option that accomplishes what it is that you're looking to do. And that's important that you find somebody that you trust that's not going to go into sales pitch mode and sell you something they want you to have. If somebody digs into what you're going to do with it, they're super interested in finding out that you buy something right. And you could always tell, even a really good car salesman will be almost all interested in making you happy when you leave the lot, not necessarily saying, hey, here's something new and I want to sell it to you. Let's hope it lines up with what you're going to be doing. So you'll notice all of our guys start with that question, and I've polled more people than than I would like to, that said the most annoying question that we do is that qualifying question is, what are you going to do with it? Because they don't understand what we're trying to get at with that question. They're afraid that if they say the wrong thing, it's going to qualify them into a $2,000 computer. So they really don't like answering the question because they don't know where it came from. Well, I'll tell you, with our guys, we're just trying to get you, we're trying to make sure that, you're not overspending on what you buy, and you're not underspending on what you buy. It's that sweet spot right in the middle that we're trying to get you towards, and that's our role. That's our job. So if you need something, and really I don't care if you buy from us or you buy on the retail side or whatever, the same philosophy goes. So first, before you buy anything, talk to someone who can hear you out and at least get you into that steps. Because, this stuff, this is the portal that you use to get to every place you're gonna get to. So we kind of yell at the teenagers to always be they're always staring at their phone, but that's their portal. That is how they get to the digital world. So whether it be social media or they're purchasing the marketplace or their research and internet or just whatever makes them tick, remember their portal is about the size of a wallet. Okay, so they're dug in there because that's not a whole lot of real estate to get done your important stuff. So, when you have a desktop and you have 5 monitors laid out, you got a lot of real estate. You can kind of spread out and, organize yourself a little bit better. When let's just say I had to do something important and there was a deadline to get it done in 5 minutes. No way in 100 years that I'd pick my phone to do that deal unless I was in a pinch, right? Because it's always going to be more cumbersome. It's always going to be slower. I type slower on a device than I do a keyboard. And so if there's a deadline, I'm on a computer where it's nice and laid out and organized, and it's totally convenient. I can get more work done on a desktop. But again, if that's your only portal, then it's probably the wrong device for doing important things. Quick hitters that you give a status update on your Facebook, or you check your Twitter feed, or send a quick email, that's perfect for your phone. That's designed for that. That portal was designed for that kind of use. So again, when you're ready to purchase these things, okay, it's easy just to go pick something off of the shelf. If you don't have someone to help you qualify to make sure you're buying what it is that lines up with your usage, you're going to do one of either thing. You're going to be disappointed by underbuying or disappointed by overbuying. And either way, it's going to cost you money. So hope you'll write our number down, 330-259-7278. And if there's anything you need when it comes to computers, we'll help you call. All right, we're going to take a break. Chuck, I see you out there. We're going to take your call as soon as we get back. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Cruise, all expenses paid. 7-day cruise? Nobody just wins a 7-day cruise. Sorry, but being at home doesn't make me stupid. And the vacations on TV are so expensive. But I do think it would be nice to just get away for a moment. Thank goodness I found iPlay.com. Once I downloaded the application to my PC, I found a whole new world of adventures. I can play over 2,500 games like Paris Mysteries, Las Vegas Casino, and Lost Lands, all for a low monthly subscription with no extra fees. I can travel the world from right here at home, and I don't have to think about ridiculous scams or costly vacations. iPlay.com is free to download and easy to use. I deserve to have some fun, and now I do every day on iPlay.com. If if you want to get away and have some fun like me, download iPlay to your PC and start your own home adventure right now.
Flying out of the Pittsburgh airport, visit Air Marino Airport Parking for valet airport parking and free shuttle transportation. Every day, all for just $6.50 a day, $44.95 first week. I-376 exit 50 to Floggerty Road. For more information, visit airmarino.com.
Hey guys, what puts a bigger smile on your face than driving around in a clean, older four-wheel drive truck? Imagine pulling into the hardware store in that lifted 85 Chevy K20, or getting all the thumbs up driving down the road in that 76 F-250 Highboy. This is Joe Fire from Fireball Motors. We sell those trucks. We specialize in non-rusty West Coast trucks from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that are under 10 grand. We are located on Route 422, just an eighth mile from the PA border, or online at fireballtrucks.com. And remember, Fireball means four-wheel drive.
In the 10 months since Trumbull Regional Medical Center became a Stewart Family Hospital, there have been significant changes and improvements, big and small.
We've hired 152 new employees.
We've added new physicians and specialists to our team. And there's even more on the way. Every single advancement has been for one simple reason: putting you and your health at the center of everything we do. Trumbull Regional Medical Center, a Stewart Family Hospital.
Today's technology makes things easier because everything's connected. Your cell phone, your tablet, even your smart TV, all connected to one account, and they're all connected to your Wi-Fi. It only takes just one weak link for a cyber thug criminal to break in and obtain your data. And that's why the new LifeLock Identity Theft Protection now adds the power of Norton security to your devices. Now, while LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect threats to your identity, the addition of Norton security helps protect up to 5 of your devices from online threats. And if there's a problem, LifeLock's agents will work to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But new LifeLock with Norton gives you more protection for today's connected world. Join now, get 10% off your first year. Go online to lifelock.com and enter the promo code RUSH. That's lifelock.com. Remember, promo code RUSH.
It's 51.
Hi, this is Mo Ray. Check me out Sundays at 10 for the other side of talk radio on News Radio 570 WKBN.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer. This is where you can set your dials on to learn a little bit about tech. Everyone from the novice all the way through. It's a good place to hang out and use sort of the collaboration between different minds, different experiences to kind of help everybody out in the collective. So we before we went to break, Chuck Chuck called in. So let's go to Chuck first. Chuck, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Hey, I was driving to the store and I picked up your broadcast, and in the 10 to 15 minutes it took me to get here, you never once mentioned who you were or who you worked for or where your store is or anything like that. And so I called primarily for that reason. But you did say that now, so I have that information. But as my question is this. My church is installing computer systems to do multimedia and, presentations with monitors up front, that sort of thing. And I'm just curious as to if you can give me any insight, or maybe I should just drop into the store and talk to you or something.
Yeah, from a project standpoint, I'm most interested in the kind of media that will be inputted. So if it's going to be stuff that's recorded and you're going to be doing editing, or you're doing live casting streams, or you're just doing still images that you're projecting on a big screen, all of that sort of has different requirements, and that's, like I said, that's what I'd be most interested in.
Okay, well that's where I'm getting at. I mean, what we're looking at is, just to start out, probably YouTube videos that have been already created, that we could put up on the screen, music and that sort of thing that has the lyrics on the screen and that kind of deal.
Yeah, and so if it's YouTube, that's one of those situations where it would be internet-based. So you can get the most basic computer that can display YouTube video without skipping and, stuff like that. Then the heavy lifting's done on the projector's part, because you're just sending out the same image that's on your screen up to the projector, which is not a whole lot. And especially if you're dedicating a computer to do that, you don't have to throw much at it.
Well, we might use the computer for more than that. I mean, our hymnal is on the computer and that kind of thing. So it's kind of like we've got more than one thing going on there.
Sure. And so, the sources for this stuff, are you going to be doing it yourself, or you're putting together the video on your own, or are you just getting prepackaged stuff that you download and stuff like that?
To start with, it'll probably be prepackaged stuff.
Okay.
But then eventually we'd like to get into being able to do a little bit more on our own.
Sure. Yeah, and so I would like to talk to you guys. So if you could call me offline and kind of give me a little bit more details, just for everybody else who's listening in, this sounds like something that a sort of middle-range computer could be able to do. None of the stuff you asked is very, you're basically doing it on a local screen, and the projector's just making it go on a bigger screen. So if you can play videos like a DVD on it, which pretty much any computer can, if you can play a YouTube video on a browser, which pretty much any computer can, and being able to do it, and if I bought a $300 laptop, it probably could do it well, but being that I'm in front of people who want to see the image, I can't afford it to stumble. So I would buy a little bit ahead of what it needs, just so that it's nice and smooth and I can switch between screens without figuring that the $300 laptop's going to have a hiccup at some point in there. So yeah, just go ahead and give me a call and give me some more details, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, what's your location and what's your phone number?
Sure. Phone number is 330-259-7278. And the company is Youngstown Computer, and we're over in Struthers.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it. And I would say over the last year, churches have been a big demand as far as the multimedia stuff goes. We've worked with a number of them who are looking to increase for the next generation, because the expectations of the next generation of churchgoers, have screens and digital and internet, and they require multimedia. So churches are getting on board with providing that kind of presentation stuff. So, all right, we're going to come back, take some more of your calls. Joe, we'll also check the text messaging. So 333-1570 if you want to get on the program that way. And then after this break, we'll come back, talk to you some more. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Here's what's happening in the Valley. Mahoning County engineer and dozens of union employees could be headed towards a strike soon. Teamster members on the engineer staff have been without a contract since last April and say they have more than 24 issues on the table. The walkout could begin as soon as April 9th. Governor John Kasich has signed a bill into law that makes Ohio's summer sales tax holiday permanent. The law provides a 3-day sales and use tax exemption during the first weekend in August. The holiday has been an annual event for the past 3 years. Friends and family gathered on the anniversary of a Powers Way arson where 3 people died in a fire 3 years ago to bring memories of those that were lost in the fire. 10-year-old Corrine Gump and her grandparents, Bill and Judy Schmidt, were killed in that fire. Goshen Township Police arrested then 45-year-old Robert Seaman back on March 17th of 2015 on a charge of raping Corrine. 2 weeks later, and the day his trial was to begin, that house caught fire. From the all-new and 2018 Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Here's some great MVSN offers.
You deserve the very best. You deserve the Stadium Cadillac experience. You'll love the wide selection at Stadium Cadillac, and you'll appreciate the unparalleled customer service and the great selection of certified pre-owned Cadillacs. Discover your Stadium Cadillac experience.
Experience the DJV carpet difference. Over 100,000 square feet of hard surface flooring and over 450,000 square feet of carpeting. Quick and expert installation, and best of all, you save big with wholesale pricing to the public every day at DJV Carpet on Victoria Road in Austintown.
Handyman Supply of Niles, your local Ace Hardware store, is the place to go for everything inside and outside of your home. They even have pool and boating supplies. And their great staff has the knowledge and training to give you the expert advice you're looking for. Handyman Handyman Supply, McKinley Heights and Niles.
If you're looking for a new storm door, Bernard Daniels in Canfield is the place to be. We have Anderson storm doors at 50% off with a great selection of styles and colors to choose from. Come on out and see us at Bernard Daniels Lumber, 250 Railroad Street, Canfield, Ohio.
Save up to 50% off on over 200 floors at Lumber Liquidators' end-of-quarter clearance sale. Choose from the best selection of wood-look waterproof flooring like vinyl plank and wood-look tile up to 50% off. All water-resistant laminate is up to 36% off. Get pre-finished hardwood up to 33% off. More from just 39 cents while supplies last. And take an extra 15% off clearance at your local store. Plus special financing. The end-of-quarter clearance sale's going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
How do you mark life's most significant events? Now you can give an exact depiction of how the stars aligned on any date from any location on Earth. Visit myskymoment.com or call 800-291-5181 for this magical gift. Was it a baby's birth, someone's wedding, a first kiss, or graduation day? For under $50 and a call to 800-291-5181 or visit myskymoment.com, you can order the most meaningful gift of the year. Mention radio to save 30%.
The clock is ticking. Every day you put off buying life insurance can cost you big time. The older you get, the more you'll have to pay. And a sudden accident or unexpected illness could cause your rates to skyrocket or even make you uninsurable. Beat the clock. Call SelectQuote now. No hassle, no obligation. In minutes, you'll have a choice of your best rates from up to 10 highly rated life insurance companies. Richard, 40 years old, takes meds to control his cholesterol. Still, SelectQuote got him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. Under $1 a day. Don't risk your family's security another minute. Get your free quote now. Just call 800-280-8787. That's 800-280-8787. 800-280-8787 or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's.
Cool your home this summer. Call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast from News Radio 570 WKVN.
An iHeart radio station.
Clouds will increase through the day as temperatures climb into the lower 50s this afternoon. Rain chances will increase into this evening and become likely overnight. As temperatures dip back into the upper 20s, rain showers will mix to snow showers towards first thing Sunday morning. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
Temp is 52.
570WKBN.com, powered by Donnell Ford and DonnellFord.com, where price sells cars and great service keeps customers.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I'm Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and we do this on Saturdays where we talk about things that are happening in tech. So we're taking some phone calls here, so if you want to get lined up, 330-729-9977. And Joe is out there. Let's go to Joe first. Joe, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yes, this Samsung S3, it seems to have a virus on it. I haven't used it for 6 months, and it says this Galaxy Sky is infected with viruses and your browser will be seriously damaged. But it doesn't seem like the spelling is right on here. And is it something just to ignore? Or?
It's possible. If something was launched and it's not very likely that it's infected. Have you been able to reboot the thing, like do a hard reset on it?
Well, I just had it activated in one day, and then this come up after not being used for more than 6 months. It was lost for a while.
Gotcha. So what you're going to want to do is do a hard reset on it, and that way, if there is anything just in memory, something stupid that got loaded from a website, then you'll know it was. You don't want to do anything drastic. So you're just going to hold down the volume up button and the home button, and it'll do a reset, and it'll come up and it'll be fresh. And now,
if it has a
and then play with it a little bit and see if you can get the message to come up again. If that's the case, then you actually want to do a factory reset on it so that it wipes all the software that's on it and it puts new software back on it.
Yes, it just says USCAKS 923. You were visiting questionable websites.
Yep.
I never had a chance to do that in one day.
Right. Well, yeah, get that thing reset. Make sure it's not something simple in memory, just doing a hard reset and then do a factory reset and wipe the data and have it fresh. I can't explain where it came from, but if there's something on there, that'll get rid of it.
Just press the power button and hold it down. And
yeah, I think it's volume up, the home button, and then press power, and that's the hard reset. That'll actually just turn it off, and then you can turn it back on. Factory reset, I'd have to look it up. I think that's I can't remember that one right off the top of my head, but there's another set of, you hold something down and you can do a reset on it.
Yeah, so I'm not even sure if it has a volume up. I think you have to do that in the app, so I'm not sure on this. But I'll try different things then. And
okay. All right. Thanks for the phone call, Joe.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And, just every device, whether it be a tablet, a phone, a computer, all of that stuff, has the potential, if it can get to the web, some of that junky software can get on there. Doesn't mean it's necessarily infected permanently. It might be just something that's sitting in memory and is, just annoying. All right. Samsung 3, reset, turn off. To turn it off, press and hold the volume up, plus the home button, and then plus power. So those three. And a factory reset menu. Okay, well, then anyway, that's factory reset. I'm going to look that up over the next break to see an actually factory reset, how to get that going. I can't remember. It's been a while. Press and hold the volume up, center button, press power until it vibrates, wait until you see the Android logo. And then, it asks you, delete all user data. Okay, so that's the hard reset. The factory reset with volume down, press power, and then select yes to delete all user data. So both of those instructions will get the thing reset. All right, Joe, thanks for the phone call. So all of you that are aware, let's just say you're on your home desktop computer and you get a pop-up that says, hey, you've been going to questionable websites, you're infected. Well, yes, there's something on there permanently, but you don't know if it's a permanent infection or it's just something that's sitting in memory. So if you reboot the computer, they're not going to make it easy for you to reboot. You're not going to be able to go to close the window down and go to the start button. You might just have to hold the power button down, power it off, give it a couple seconds, and then power it back on. And if you can't get that window to happen again, then it was just something that was sitting in memory. Run a couple virus scans just to be sure and clean things up, but you don't really have to, take it in somewhere and get it cleaned. It was just in memory. And as long as we don't, go there again, it won't happen again. It is pretty important, though, when you do that virus scan afterwards or your malware scan afterwards, that you also clean up the disks. So all those temp files that have been accumulating, make sure there's not anything that got stuck in there and got downloaded from a bad website or something like that. So one of the free ones that we use, Malware Bytes in a pinch. It doesn't cost anything to be able to run. It won't actively scan your computer without a paid subscription, but the free version will at least let you, in a pinch, be able to run it and see if there's anything sitting on the hard drive. It does a really good job at malware, especially if you have Windows 10. Windows 10 is pretty locked down when it comes to traditional viruses. But when malware comes into play, you want something that gives you a little extra chance. We had a customer this week that got this. It wasn't a real sophisticated version, but it was a very, wild version of encryption virus. And basically how an encryption virus works is that you see an email and it looks like it's coming from Doug, your friend, and it says, hey, here's a PDF. This is something. Take a look at it. So you double click on it, and it's not a PDF, and it just gives you an error message, and you're like, why did he send me a bogus file? Well, here your friend Doug got his computer infected, so his computer sent you an email with an attachment of the same infection that he got, tricking you into also running the same attachment that he did, which then sent it to somebody with that same attachment. So that's what happened on that end. And while it was on your system, it started taking all of your files, like your Word documents and your pictures, and it started to zip them, like encrypt them, change them, and put a password on them. So now those files, even though they're still sitting there, they're actually compressed and in a different form. So the only way to get them back into their original form is to pay money to the person that's holding them. That's why we call it ransomware and encryption virus, because they're holding all your files on your computer hostage until you send them money. And it could be anywhere from $600 ransom to, $50,000 ransom. So in this case, this was a $2,200 ransom. Well, in this case, these are one of my customers. So we do, crazy amount of redundancy. And so we were able to just scrap all those files that were locked down, restore them all from the previous night's backup, and they're all up and running. They didn't have to pay the ransom. But it was interesting in this case because the splash screen that came up on the infected machine said, the first box said, your first 10 files are free. And it said, we want to prove to you that if you pay us, we're actually going to unencrypt your files. So this was had a tinge of customer service paying someone who's holding your data hostage. So it almost felt like a legitimate transaction. But the guy on the other side of the transaction is holding a gun at your head for your data, right? So the language was trying to convince you to send them money because, yeah, they'll actually unencrypt your stuff. Like that whole, the first 10 are free kind of thing. So that was different. That was a different flavor than I've seen before. But they're very bold, and their encryption is pretty good. In this case, we have this one strategy. There's a tool so most of these people who do the encryption viruses, they're savvy, but they're not going to write their own stuff. So they adopt encryptions that other people have written. So if I have a file and I called it, Joe's Daily Doc, right? And you encrypt it, but I have a backup of that file that's the exact duplicate. I can take the exact duplicate that you encrypted, and I can compare the two from a data standpoint, and I can reverse engineer what you did to the file to get it in its current form. And so then if I use that seed file, then I can unencrypt it. So what I've been doing is I've been creating these text files, and I drop them on the hard drive when I first set up a computer, and I call it owner.blah, blah, blah. That's my file that if you ever get encrypted, I'm going to take that file, and I know the encrypted version that's sitting on the hard drive is the same one that I have, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take those two files, going to reverse engineer it, and I'm going to unencrypt your computer. But that's one step that you have to take in the very beginning because those files have to be identical. If you saved it a couple times or it moved around a couple times, they're not identical, and then the encryption won't match, and I won't be able to reverse engineer it. But if I can keep it the exact same file, the exact same data, and I can reverse engineer it. And it's not all the cases I can do it, but at least it gives me another tool. It gives me another way of, rather than paying the $80,000 to some scammer idiot and wherever he is, I'll either restore your data or at least I'll try to get a couple of the files back for you if I can help it. So I hate these guys as much as you do. They create a whole lot of business for us, but it's not the kind of business. I don't want my customers in peril. So we do a lot of proactive stuff to avoid the moment where you get infected, but we see people after they already got infected and before they even knew us, and where I'd like to give them any good information or news, I can't because it sucks in every way. So the best defense against this is not having, antiviruses that will pick up every one of these infections. They're just too numerous, and it's only 50% of the time in our tests that we were able to stop it just using applications. But the backups, that's the key, because in maybe the last 5 cases, I just go through the hard drives and I wipe out all the encrypted files, and I go over to the computer that infected and make sure that no more files get encrypted. And once I know that the infection has stopped, then I just restore your data back, and you are back to as of the last in the previous backup, which is the key to this, is just having lots of do things before they're necessary. Don't wait till you get robbed to go get an alarm system. You got to picture these as a responsible user of these things. You got to picture it in its worst case. So you got to picture your computer not working and playing your backup as if you walked in your office the next day and it's not working. If you were to rewind time, what would you be able to what would you like to be able to do? And if you say, well, I'd like all my data back, then there's your answer. That's what your proactive thing needs to be, is you need to create that backup now. And then if that ever happens, it won't even, you'll take it in stride. I mean, where it's, my customers are they're so prepared that they're going to be more mad that they wasted 6 hours while I restored data, right? But they don't have to be mad about they lost data. And that's my job, is to, even if it's not the best circumstances, your building burns down and we got to build you a new office, but I'm going to restore the data even if it takes me a day to do it. So they're in way better circumstances than some of you out there. And so I bring this kind of stuff up so you can question how prepared you are for something that would go wrong, and be aware of it. Like I said, that's where that call about a virus infection on a phone leads us to what's really happening in the field. And if it hasn't happened to you, right, you probably know someone who it has happened to. And so it's one thing, it's a gamble that you think you're going to escape it and not have to pay, or you just do the responsible thing and get proactive in the ways that matter. And that is through backups. And if you can create backups, I mean, you can pretty much recreate any situation. You know, even if it takes a little while, you can create it. So if you just do Carbonite or Mosey or even just a hard drive sitting on top of the computer, I mean, it gives us tools to help you back out of a bad situation. So 330-729-9977. Let's go to Ken next. Ken, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yes, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I have an iPad, an Air 7, with a Gmail account, and I'm trying to send an email to a ZoomInternet.net site, whatever. But I can't. It won't do it. It just says something must have happened, and this says go to settings. But I go to settings. There's nothing there for me, that I can understand. It says, "Hey, this is why you can't send an email." And I was just wondering, was there an issue with, the Zoom Internet from Gmail or what?
Yes. In the past. I mean, so basically what all email providers do is they filter spam, okay? And so if you get a lot of spam, then you're probably only getting a portion of what's actually coming to your account. So if you get 500 messages a day, there's probably, 1,500 messages, and they're doing a good job of trimming that stuff down. Now, sources, if it comes in through Gmail and it hits Zoom, all right, now do you get a bounce back through your Gmail that says it didn't arrive? Or it just never shows up?
It's going from my Gmail to somebody else's Zoom Internet account.
Right.
But something just pops up and says, oops, something happened, and it never goes through.
Oh, you're not able to even send it out?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a different thing. I was going down on a completely different track. What app are you using to send the mail message? Are you using the Gmail app, or are you using just the traditional mail app?
By Gmail app.
The Gmail app. Okay. When it's actually loading and it tells you that there was a problem, and I imagine when you click on Compose, you're seeing the Compose box come up?
Yes.
Okay, but then when you hit send, that's when it says a problem happened, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking something is up with the actual Gmail app. And you might want to, if you haven't closed down all of the apps, you might want to delete the app and try reinstalling it. If it's not loading a component when it goes to send, that there might be actually something wrong with that. Second thing I would do, if you've tried that and it's still not working, try to configure the local mail app with your Gmail settings and see if that will send out. Where the Gmail app is always going to be better because you get to, it'll inherit the settings right from Gmail itself, where the traditional one is just going to be a client. I would probably try to get the Gmail app to work first.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you being out there. And so the way that Gmail is a provider, but they also have their own software that hosts their service. And so the Gmail app, like I said, if I had, XYZ company and they have a bunch of settings in there that says, hey, I'm XYZ at gmail.com, but I also have XYZ or John at XYZ company. I have my own domain. Well, I can go through Gmail, and I'm using Gmail to sort of facilitate sending and receiving email. But I want recipients never to even know that the Gmail app, the Gmail account exists. I want them to always see xyz.com, my name at xyz.com. And so in your Gmail app, it will do that. You'll be able to receive an email, and it comes from you. In the local mail app, it is going to say, the Gmail, and it won't be hidden from those users. So that's a reason why the Gmail app is going to be preferred. So good luck to you. Appreciate you calling. All right, we got tons more to talk about all show long, but please don't hesitate to call 330-729-9977, or if you're out in the car and you just want to text 333-1570, and we will answer both of those when we come back from break. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-500-8121. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8121. That's 1-800-500-8121. 1-800-500-8121.
Whoa, what do you have there?
It's a Reese and Irvy's frozen yogurt. We just had our robot make one.
A robot made your frozen yogurt?
Yes, from Reese and Irvy's, the world's first fully interactive robot vending machine that serves 9 flavors of delicious yogurt with 6 amazing toppings. And it's available for an exclusive franchise opportunity.
Wait, you mean I can own my own frozen yogurt robots?
And make money at the same time. These robots are the future of frozen yogurt franchising. They can be placed almost anywhere and operate 24/7. Malls, theme parks, grocery stores, you name it.
A robot that serves frozen yogurt. That's revolutionary.
Exactly. Reese and Irvy's Froyo robots are taking the market by storm. No more messy yogurt bars, long lines, or do-it-yourself machines. Just delicious frozen yogurt in 60 seconds or less. Anytime, anywhere.
How do I get my own Reese and Irvy's robots?
It's easy, but you better act now. Locations and machines are going fast. Just go to froyofranchising.com and enter promo code 1414. That's froyofranchising.com, promo code 1414.
Hey friends, as a marketer, you want to reach everyone, right? Adults, teens, millennials. But it's not like all these groups hang out in the same place. Actually wrong. They're all right here listening to radio commercials just like this one. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. Now that's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, we reach 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to? Hey, they're all in one place. Right here. Get AM/FM working for you. Go to iHeartMedia.com.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
This is Smart Hacks for your smart speakers. I'm Stacy Walter. Did you know that Alexa will read bedtime stories to your child? Yeah, just say, Alexa, tell bedtime story to Billy, and you can both sit back until one of you falls asleep. Once upon a time. Alexa also connects you to your favorite live radio stations with iHeartRadio. Tell Alexa to play your favorite iHeartRadio station like this. Alexa, play iHeart 80s.
Playing iHeart 80s on iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio has all your favorite music and radio on your smart speaker. This has been Smart Hacks for your smart speakers.
Now 53.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. Had a couple questions come in. I'm going to field those out right now. This comes from, and if you guys aren't aware, we broadcast this show pretty much everywhere. You can catch us just about anywhere. Preferred way is terrestrial. As you're scooting around Youngstown here, pick us up on 570 WKBN. That is the home. That is where we broadcast from. Also on iHeartRadio. If you're anywhere else in the world, if you're traveling, you can pick us up on the iHeartRadio app. And I don't know if you've not tried this and you have one of these Alexas, you could tell Alexa, or let me do it. Alexa, play 570 WKBN on iHeartRadio. Now, Alexa will fire that thing up and play the iHeartRadio app and 570 WKBN, and then you can listen to all the great programming that's over here on 570 WKBN. We're also over on YouTube on the Youngstown Computer channels. This question comes in from I believe this would be a Facebook. Yes, this is a Facebook listener. I have an old PC that I cannot get to work anymore. However, I know there's a digital copy of my wedding pictures and a Disney trip on the hard drive. Are you guys able to retrieve the information? I think it was running Windows 7, if that tells you how old it is. So, Joseph, yes, we can. And it doesn't require that the computer actually works to be able to harvest the data back off of there. If the hard drive is good and it hasn't been deleted or overwritten or anything like that, there's a pretty good chance we take the hard drive out of there and we can recover that and put that stuff on an external drive or just put it on in its enclosure on its own. So bring it over to us and we will sort of tear it apart and find out what's there. We're just going to need data as in where you would have put it on the machine, what it would have been called, and then we will dig through the data. Most of the time, we're just going to grab everything and then let you sort through it because you're going to know your file structure better than us. So we'll just recover the thing in its entirety, put it in an enclosure, plug it into one of our machines, and then you can have one of our people sit down with you while you kind of go through the good, the bad, and see if you want to just keep it as is, take it home with you, and then you're good to go. Or if you want to transfer it to something like a smaller, like a flash drive, all depending on what you'd like. So all of our services, pretty much everything is available in store, and also we can come to you. So if anybody's interested in services, whether it be repair or infection cleanups or even stuff like this where you need some data. Now, bench stuff is always going to be brought back to our office. Our tools are all there, and we're more capable in that environment. So if it's bench work where there's a failure of some kind or a restoration of some kind, that stuff's always going to require coming to us. So it's almost easier if you drop it off to us. And then if you want us to bring it back out to you, then we can troubleshoot some stuff in the field with you. Because again, that gives you an advantage because you don't have to take your computer home and plug it all in yourself. You'll get it right because you don't have to worry about the 90 wires that connect behind it and making sure that they all work. We have a very methodical way of putting it back in play. We plug in the 3 cables that are necessary: the power, the monitor and keyboard, and the monitor, keyboard, and power, right? Get the thing fired up, and then we slowly add things. We'll plug in the Ethernet, and we'll plug in the other USB devices where we can verify when I plug in a printer, I plug it in, and then I make sure it works. It's because when you bring it back, if I plug it in and it doesn't work, you're going to call me and say, hey, you just dropped this thing off and my printer doesn't work. So I test everything so that when I leave there, I verify that everything I knew about works, and you verify everything that you know needs to work still works. So, all right, we're going to take a break, come back, take some more of your phone calls. We got a whole another hour to talk about things that are happening in tech. So feel free, give us a call, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. I'll read all those text messages when we come back. So if you don't want to call and get your voice on the air, you can at least get your message to me. 330-333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN.
Oh, another Market Street pothole. That sounded expensive.
Better get to Boardman Nissan between now and the end of April for their tire special. Buy 3, get 1 for $1, and they'll throw in free lifetime tire rotation and free 2-year road hazard coverage on all 4 tires. Lots of brands of tires available. And don't forget, Boardman Nissan services virtually all makes and models.
Well, that sounds like a one-of-a-kind deal. When can I schedule an appointment?
Actually, you don't have to. Just stop in and speak with one of their reps today. And judging by that sound, you don't have much time.
I better get to Boardman Nissan.
You can't miss the potholes, so you definitely don't want to miss this deal. Head down to Boardman Nissan today and enjoy a top-notch dealership experience. Buy 3, get 1 for $1, and they'll throw in free lifetime tire rotation and free 2-year road hazard coverage on all 4 tires. Boardman Nissan, 7809 Market Street in Boardman.
Time is 2 o'clock. Shop Baird Brothers, America's source for fine hardwoods. This is News Radio 570 WKBN, Youngstown, an iHeart radio station.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Democrats are calling on EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt to step down. It's over Pruitt's living arrangements last year, a deeply discounted room in a D.C. condo owned by the wife of a top energy lobbyist. ABC News chief political analyst Matthew Dowd weighs in.
Donald Trump got elected to say he was going to drain the swamp. But as we've seen with the EPA administrator, it's almost become a Superfund site. The toxicity of the culture there has gotten so much worse than it was a year and a half ago. So I don't know if he's going to fire him. It totally depends on his personal relationship with Donald Trump. If he's a sycophant and he sort of deals with Donald Trump and compliments Donald Trump, I think he stays. But if there's some break in that relationship, I think he goes.
The lobbyist whose wife co-owned the condo says he's had no contact with the EPA. President Trump blaming immigration policies for the nation's opioid epidemic.
We want our cities to be safe havens for Americans, not criminal aliens. It is time for Congress to cut off funds for sanctuary cities and to close the loopholes that allow drugs and criminals to violate our borders.
It was the focus of his weekly address. He also posted Easter and Passover greetings on Twitter. 2 planes full of Russian diplomats left Washington's Dulles Airport today heading home. U.S. diplomats in Russia also packing their bags.
Russia is continuing to expel diplomats following the coordinated expulsion of Russian officials from some 23 countries. 60 U.S. diplomats were ordered to leave Russia Friday and the U.S. consulate in St. Petersburg shut. Another 50 British officials have today been given instructions to return home. The breakdown in relations follows the nerve agent attack on a former Russian spy and his daughter in the British town of Salisbury, for which the UK government blames Russia.
ABC's James Longman at the Foreign Desk. The Pentagon identifying the U.S. coalition soldier killed this week in Syria. Master Sergeant Jonathan Dunbar of Austin, Texas, killed by an IED. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's what's happening in the Valley. Mahoney County engineer and dozens of union employees could be headed towards a strike soon. Teamster members on the engineer staff have been without a contract since last April and say they have more than 24 issues on the table. The walkout could begin as soon as April 9th. Governor John Kasich has signed a bill into law that makes Ohio's summer sales tax holiday permanent. The law provides a 3-day sales and use tax exemption during the first weekend in August. The holiday has been an annual event for the past 3 years. Friends and family gathered on the anniversary of a Powers Way arson where 3 people died in a fire 3 years ago to bring memories of those that were lost in the fire. 10-year-old Corrine Gump and her grandparents, Bill and Judy Schmidt, were killed in that fire. Goshen Township Police arrested then 45-year-old Robert Seaman back on March 17th of 2015 on a charge of raping Corrine. 2 weeks later, and the day his trial was to begin, that house caught fire. In sports, the Cavs beat the Pelicans 107-102 on the ice. Penguins take on Montreal tonight at 7 p.m. Baseball, the Indians and Mariners today at 3:37 on News Radio 570 WKBN. The Pirates, they beat Detroit 13-10 in 13 innings. They'll both take the field today in Detroit at 1 o'clock. From the all-new and 2018 Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's.
As you know that Leonard Truck and Trailer has been the area source for trailers for nearly 54 years.
That's right, Cord. But what a whole lot of people don't know, Leonard Truck and Trailer has added the Armory at LTT. We now offer a huge selection of firearms from every major manufacturer and guns for all your concealed carry, hunting, and sporting needs.
The Armory at LTT offers a complete gunsmithing service, customization, and refurbishing. The Armory at LTT inside Leonard Truck and Trailer in North Jackson, Ohio.
Dollar Shave Club gets my gold medal as champions of the bathroom. Now they deliver everything you need to look, smell, and feel your best. Shampoo, body wash, toothpaste, and of course the best razor you've ever used, and Dr. Carver's shave butter. So join the club today, and you're going to get the 6-blade executive razor, plus you'll get trial sizes of shave butter, body cleanser, and all other sorts of toiletries for just $5, and you get free shipping. Then keep the blades coming for a few bucks a month, and you can get it all at dollarshaveclub.com/Hannity, dollarshaveclub.com/Hannity.
Tune in every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for the Mahoning Valley Sportsman Show, hosted by Mike Craig, proudly brought to you by Bolt Construction. Over 35 years of doing things right in the gas and oil industry and airport gathering systems. Online at boltconstruction.cc.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Check out the Valley's newest honky-tonk, the Feed and Sing, Route 14, Washingtonville. Good food, live music.
For your home or business, call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast from News Radio 570 WKBN.
An iHeart radio station.
Clouds will increase through the day as temperatures climb into the lower 50s this afternoon. Rain chances will increase into this evening and become likely overnight. As temperatures dip back into the upper 20s, rain showers will mix to snow showers towards first thing Sunday morning. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
Temp is 52.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. This is our second half of our program today. So if you want to get in and on the program, feel free, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570, and I will read those text messages on the air as the program continues. It's an easy way, especially no matter where you're at. You can send me a quick note or a question, and can contribute. And you don't even have to contribute that way. If you just want to send me a message, you can use text messaging. That's the easiest way to get that message to me. 333-1570 is that phone number. And because last hour I probably did not mention Youngstown Computer's information. If you want to get a hold of us, Youngstown Computer, the company that actually brings you this program, bring business our way, here's what I ask you to do. Take a sticky note and write our phone number, 330-259-7278, and put it on the side of your computer. Now, whereas you might not have a problem right now, there's going to be in the future some need, and I'd really like it. We volunteer for it, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd give us a call when that is to occur. But if I can get you to write the phone number now and down and put it on the side, then we will be right there ready, and we can throw on our cape and be there when you need us. So again, that's 330-259-7278. We have residential services and commercial services, both. The residential, we can come to you or you can come to us, whichever is, your preference. Some people like us coming out, and they're willing to, pay $25 more to have somebody come see them because we're in your environment and we can see your computer, and then we can sit down with you while it's there. Some people prefer they plug it in on themselves, and, that's fine too. So we've got services for just about every preference. And so if you have a computer that needs fixed, and our guys are pretty good at explaining things to you today, explaining things to you as well. I had a talk with David, who's our main field guy. He's the guy, he's got a British accent, super intelligent, and he's a very patient guy. So he's cool to listen to, and he's really patient with you, and he's smart. So when we're sitting down, you can feel free to bounce just about anything off of him while you're there. So while he's there, and if he has a couple minutes remaining, you can ask about your bookmarks or how to save pictures down or how to do updates. All of this stuff that you're doing right now, you can just make sure you're doing it right and ask why you have a person sitting next to you if he would add anything to that. So he's really good about being patient and walking you through those regular maintenance things. So take advantage of the, you don't want to see us too often, but maybe the twice a year that you have to do something with your computer, the maintenance and the antiviruses, and maybe you have a problem at some point, take advantage of it and pick his brain while he's there. Field services, if you want to make those requests, be sure to get it in on the Youngstown Computer website, or you can call us 330-259-7278. And those of you who want to bring it to us, we're at 600 Youngstown Poland Road in Struthers. So you could just go to the web and look up all of our information. Our phone numbers published there, our scheduling calendar is published there, and all the ways of getting a hold of us. I mean, you can keep track of us on Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of stuff as well. But give us a call when something happens, and we really will appreciate it. This is the time where we got the radio show here. This is open to all of those questions that might be big enough to annoy you, but a little too small to call in the heavy armory. So this is your forum for that. Anything bigger than we can handle there and talk about it, I encourage you to call the office and get something set up with those guys. Again, number 330-259-7278, or head over to youngstowncomputer.com and get an appointment scheduled off to see one of our guys. So really appreciate that. Commercial services, as always, any business, networking, website, server, router, switch, all of that kind of stuff we field out so we can sit down with you and go over what you have and what you want to change and so on and so forth. So 330-259-7278. All right. Let's take some more phone calls. Actually, you know what? Let me take the text message that came in last hour. If I understand correctly, I should use my 2 terabyte external drive to back up my Surface Pro every time I back up my iPhone on iTunes. That is a really good regimen to have. So really the mentality you have to bring into this is when you picture the recovery process. Okay, so every time you back up your iPhone, it means if you were to drop your phone in the toilet tomorrow and you can't recover anything, you bring a new phone in and you plug it in, you're restoring it to the last snapshot of that phone that you have, which is your iTunes backup. So every contact that you had at that moment will be in there. Every text message that you had in that moment will be in there. So you want to back it up as often enough as you say, okay, well, if I restored to yesterday, yeah, it'd be okay. If I restored to Monday, yeah, it'd still be okay. If I restored to 2 months ago, probably be some missing stuff. So you want to do it often enough where you're comfortable with whatever loss there would be between the last time that you backed up and the phone goes, in the toilet. Now, your Surface is probably in the same boat. If you've got an external drive and it's 2 terabyte, you're probably got plenty of space to do the phone, the tablet, and the laptop all in one spot. Now, you can do two things. You can do a backup of the profile where you can select which files that you want to back up, or you can do a system backup where you can tell Windows to use your external drive and throw an image of that. So that image is going to give you the ability to restore the Surface right back to where it was in the beginning. So that gives you that ability. Two different abilities. You're gonna take almost all the space that you have on, let's just say you have a 256 gigs drive on the Surface. Well, your backup's going to be just about 256 gigs on the 2 terabyte. Or if you're just doing profile information, you might only have 10 gigs worth of profile stuff. And if you just back up the stuff that's sitting on your desktop in My Documents, and then you put that on the external. So yes, the mentality is that going through what you're comfortable with, there's not a one size fits all. If you don't know what you need, I'm always going to tell you to do more than you need because you can't go wrong there. You're going to waste a little bit of space, but it's going to take you less time, and you don't have to stumble on the details. Just make an image backup, and you can go from there. So image your phone, image your tablet, image the Surface Pro, and then you're good to go. I can't see a scenario where I couldn't get that to work out if something should go wrong. So good question. Thanks for that one coming in with text messaging. And the next text message says, okay, a silver Sharpie would be better than a sticky note, especially if the computer's black. It's silver than a black Sharpie. I don't suggest you write actually on your computer, where I wouldn't mind that. I mean, that would be, if you're okay with writing on it, then yes, a silver Sharpie would be good for writing our phone number down. I guess if I took little stickers or maybe even a magnet and put it on the side, that would be better. But at least a sticky note is going to have a background so you can see it. It might look ugly because of black case, and then you got this big red or gaudy, green, orange, or yellow on the side of it. I take your hint. So maybe something more subtle, like I don't know, taped business card. I don't know, take a business card and tape it on. That would be cool too. But thanks for the text message. 330-729-9977. Let's go to Bill next. Bill, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm operating Windows. I got it in 07. It's a Dell, and it has Windows Vista. I have a vast antivirus. Is it safe to browse?
It's safe to browse. I mean, you're really scooting on the edge of compatibility. So a lot of the patches and fixes just aren't there anymore. So you do expose yourself to a little bit. Is there anything super important on the machine?
Oh, I have some bank statements, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd probably get the important stuff off of there, put it in a more secure place. And then if you do go to the internet, the worst that's going to happen is you're going to get infected and you're going to have to blast it and reload it. If you don't mind going through the process of restoring it if it gets beat up a little bit, there's still plenty of people that are using Vista, so it's not like it's 2 seconds in and you're going to get infected. You just have a higher risk because of the age of the operating system.
You think it's worth to upgrade that?
No, not at all. My threshold is usually 5 or 6 years to be able to put any more money in. If you do like an operating system upgrade on it, your hardware is going to choke it pretty bad. Now, if you bought super high into the future when you bought that Vista machine where you had a Xeon processor and 8 gigs of memory, then yeah, from those two standpoints, it's going to be able to handle the operating system. But still, the components are old, and once the motherboard goes, you're going to regret putting money into that when you could have put the same money into something new.
I see. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you being out there. Buying, like I said, these things. What we did, I've seen it from really expensive computers to really cheap computers to really expensive computers again. Okay, we've commoditized it. We've taken just about and we've made these things as efficient as can be made. So when you're buying these things, you really know that you're not going to, it's really hard to overpay. So, we came from the philosophy is no matter if we buy a Lenovo or a Sony or a Dell or a Asus, right? It's all the same components. They're shopping the same stuff that if we built our own, we'd have Intel chipsets and we'd have certain motherboards and we'd have certain Ethernet cards and displays and so on and so forth. So it's just an assembly of different components. Now, if people who buy this stuff are looking at a price point, well, when I go on the low end, I'm shopping the cheapest components that I can that still gives me a computer at the end of the day that you'll end up paying for, and I still got to be able to carve out a margin that lets me, sell the computer. So if I got sell you a $400 laptop, it has to cost me, right, about $350, or it's not worth the effort of putting a person on it to try to manufacture it or assemble it or whatnot. So even if it's a small margin, it's still a margin. So you got to think that even a $400 computer thinking, man, I got a good deal. You really didn't. You got a $350 computer for $400. So you just bought the cheapest components that you could in that spectrum. Now, if you go in the middle side, right, the middle side doesn't have a whole lot of movement in it. So the low side has a lot of movement because you have variables like you can have components that are 5 years old and are just liquidation components. In the middle, this is relatively new hardware. There's not a whole lot into the old hardware side. So your middle range, you can expect to pay anywhere from $650 up to $1,000 for the middle range, the low middle range versus the high middle range. So when you're speccing this stuff out, like our philosophy has been this: I want a computer that I can sell to you. You're going to use it for 5 years, and then you're going to move on to your next computer. So I'm going to take if it were me sitting in that boat, where's my commitment line? Okay, and so do you want? Most of the people that I deal are commercial companies. So if their computer goes down, I want them to have a computer within the next couple hours that is equal to the one that they had before. So I want all of my computers that I sell to be exactly the same, so that if you buy from me and your computer goes down on year 1, I just bring you out a new computer and I take the old one back and I get you up and running. I don't want to deal with warranties. I don't want to deal with waiting for parts. I don't want to deal with anything. Speed is of the essence. So you're going to pay a little bit more when you purchase a computer from me, but the components are not. I'm not trying to get margin out of you. I'm not trying to get the cheapest components that are. I want reliability and performance and standardization so that I can swap things out. So that's the game you're playing when you're buying from us. Is we know the failure rate of the components, and we're picking it up so that when you buy it, it has the least chance of failure that is possible when you shop components. And then we take those three things. So we are price conscious, we are performance conscious, and we're reliability conscious. And in that order, I want it to be reliable, and then I'll shop the performance, and then I'll shop the price. Price being the last one, because if I'm on the hook for it, and I've got to bring you a computer if this one dies, I'm going to make sure that my chances of it not dying are really good. All right. And then so the price conscious means I want to make sure that I'm not exceeding what the marketplace can produce. If I'm 20% higher than what the marketplace is, well, then I shouldn't be doing it. I should let companies like Dell buy in volume and do it. But right now we are hitting a sweet spot where we put a computer together. AVP, Advanced Video Productions, Advantage Video Productions is one of our customers, and they do high-end video production. And so they need reliability and they need performance out of it. I mean, they do this for their living, where they do commercials and promotional videos for companies around the valley. We put a side-by-side where we purchased one from another company and then we built one to spec. On our computer, ours were $72 more than the one that you can buy on the commercial end after you pay a Youngstown person to do it, and the parts are sourced from places that we can buy from dealers in the United States. We were $70-some more expensive than the one that you can just buy on the retail side. And this machine benchmarked at a level that was higher than any other computer that's come through our office. The one that retail, it benchmarked at a 900 benchmark score. This one was 1,000. So we had a 10%. Our price was 4%. So if $78 over a $1,800 machine, and it exceeded the performance on a machine. So like I said, pound for pound, we can do everything that everybody else is doing. We've got that advantage because we're looking at it through different eyes. I don't want to do volume. I don't want to do 100 computers a month. I want to do the people that rely on us to deliver that reliability and performance. I want to be able to provide that product for them. So whereas we're not always going to be the cheapest, when you buy from us, you know what you're getting. You're not just buying the same stuff that everybody else. We're buying an end. Right? Reliability, performance, and price. That's our mantra. So if you're interested in purchasing from Youngstown Computer, that's our mentality. And what we're trying to deliver is way different than what everybody else is trying to deliver. I do not want 3 other customers who are buying focused on price, because if that's my third priority in the list of where I purchase it, you're going to be a little disappointed if you just came through and said, hey, this computer I can buy at blah, blah, blah for 20% cheaper. Guess what I'm going to say? Awesome. Go shop it. That's going to be amazing. I would do the same thing. If price was my deal, I'd go who can suck the most margin out of any product. So, all right. We're going to come back, take some more of your phone calls, 330-729-9977. We got text messages, too, coming in, 333-1570. So if you want to ask your questions via text, all of those are queued up that I haven't read yet. I'll make sure I get those when we come back from break. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dan Rivers, proud to speak for Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks is proud to announce their new Donald R. James Assisted Living Memory Care Unit, designed to preserve the personal dignity and well-being of your loved one. The Assisted Living Memory Care staff simplifies and enhances the activities of daily living for your loved one, so they can focus on living their life with a sense of freedom in a safe environment. If you're looking for a secure place for your loved one with dementia, go to CopelandOaks.com. Hi, this is Dan Rivers. We're back with another year of Tribe Replay, brought to you by Stadium GM Superstore in Salem. Win a 5 Points car wash, an oil change from Stadium, a Pizza Hut pizza, and a monthly grand prize of Indians tickets and dinner at Chili's Bar and Grill. Weekdays, 8:30, 570 WKBN.
Find huge savings now through Sunday during Menards Crazy Day sale. Get 5 bags of colored wood mulch for just $9. Royal Oak charcoal briquettes are only $4.99 a bag. Crestone beveled retaining wall blocks come in 8 colors, only 79 cents each after rebate. And get an attractive Hampton resin mailbox for only $19.99 after rebate. These deals are so crazy, they're available in-store only while supplies last. So hurry in to save big during Menards Crazy Day sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Make your reservations now for Mr. Anthony's Easter Buffet, Sunday, April 1st. Enjoy featured entrees like carved prime rib, carved glazed ham and leg of lamb, a dessert station, and much more. Adults just $25.95, children 6 to 10, $10.95. Soft drinks and tip included, tax additional. Cash bar available. Call 758-5721 for reservations at noon, 1, or 2:30 p.m. Book your 2018 graduation party now with Mr. Anthony's. Visit MrAnthony'sEventCenter.com or call 758-5721.
When it comes to construction, seek out the pros. Whitmer's Construction, locally owned and operated, offering design to build services, start to finish project management, shell erect, or turnkey new construction or commercial renovation. Regardless of the type of service Whitmer's Construction provides, rest assured that our highly trained staff will meet your expectations. Visit Whitmer's online at whitmersconstruction.com or 888-427-6025. Whitmer's Construction, reliable resources and results.
Quiet, comfort, and affordability. The most important things when choosing a place to live. Westchester Square Apartments offers something to fit every need and budget. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and studio apartments. They rent apartments, but they sell convenience. You can find luxury living at Westchester Executive Apartments, 1,200 square feet of upscale living with carports, or independent senior living at Westchester Commons, strategically located in the center of Austintown, right next to Route 11. For the perfect apartment, call 330-799-5758. Come and be a good neighbor in a community of good neighbors. Westchester Square Apartments, Austintown. For more information, go to waldenmanagement.com.
Are you working so hard to make a living you can't take time to make any real money? Is every day the same boring routine going nowhere and the money runs out before the month? My name is Ron LeGrand, and for over 30 years now I've been helping clients take their life back by buying and selling houses with no money, credit, experience, or license. If you call 800-865-3959 and leave a message, I'll send you my new book and CD absolutely free so you can see how. I've bought thousands of houses and trained hundreds of thousands to do the same. Call 800-865-3959 and get your free starter kit until 500 are gone. You'll learn how to make a full-time income on a part-time basis without risk, largely tax-free, and get 90% of the work done for pennies. That's 800-865-3959. Again, 800-865-3959.
The hometown advantage. You see it in the shops and offices downtown, in our factories, schools, and farms. Jet the accountant has it. So do Corey in IT and Amber, the vet tech. They found local jobs at MahoningValleyHelpWanted.com. It's where local employers find local workers like you, people who care about this community. Search jobs and apply online right now. Get the advantage of finding a job close to home at MahoningValleyHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
Now 53.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We're having fun today talking about things that are happening over in tech, answering your questions, fielding out anything that you can text message into us. So I want to get to those real quick. Question coming in text. I'm running Windows 10 or Windows 7 Professional on my Gateway laptop, about 8 years old. I'm getting video card failures every 15 to 20 minutes and a blue screen. It reboots and offers to restore the former page, which I always decline. Also using Internet Explorer. I'm old and stubborn. What can I do? All right, usually what ends up happening, okay, so you got to understand that the life cycle of this hardware is probably toast. All right. Well, let's assume that yours is super strength and there's nothing wrong with the hardware. Blue screens can happen also because of temperature. Okay. So if you have your laptop and it's been accumulating dust for a long time and you've never had it, sprayed out, cleaned out, what you can do is try to get some of that canned air and get some of the dust and dirt that's been, on those fins and inside the inside of the computer and get it blown out of there so the thing at least has a chance to keep cool. And that way, if something is temperature and that's why it's blue screening, you might be able to, squeeze a couple more years out of it before you have to get rid of it. You can also pick it up and create some space between the desk where it's sitting and the bottom of the laptop. The air intake is usually on the bottom. It draws in air from the bottom and spits it out the back. So if it's too close to the desk or you got it sitting on something, the chance are you're strangling it as well. So I'm assuming that this is going to be heat or dirt related, not that there's a bad component in it. And if you take those two steps, let's just say you sit it up off the table and keep it cooler, then you might be able to, like I said, just get a stand and jack it up off of the table and get a couple more years out of it. If that doesn't work, if airflow is not your problem and heat's not your problem, it could be something in the operating system where if you have to reload it to get different drivers, it's all going to depend on the blue screen and what's causing it. They have a log analyzation tool that will give you what was going on before the blue screen happens. Now, you have to turn on verbose logging in order to be able to see anything meaningful about what caused the blue screen. So you want to go into the advanced settings of the computer and go into, I believe it's environment or variables, and there's going to be a little checkbox that says verbose logging. It will actually say verbose logging. Turn that on. And then if the next time the blue screen happens, it will record a little bit into the event viewer, and then you'll be able to read or take one of these blue screen evaluators, pull out that log file, let it evaluate it, and see what was going on. You might find that there was a piece of software like an old antivirus that's causing the blue screen, and then you can start troubleshooting it by removing stuff that might be attributed to it. My go-to favorite, where I don't really do much of anything else except for go into MS-config, and I go into two things. I do everything in the startup. I'll disable it. And then I'll go into services, I believe, hide the Windows or Microsoft services, and disable all the rest of them. Just those two things, I'll reboot and see if the blue screen still happens. Before I've made any time commitment on those, that's what I start off with, because you could be chasing the rabbit down the rabbit hole for a long time, and I like to know if it's software or hardware right off the get-go. If you remove 40 pieces of software from the equation, you might solve the blue screen by just then figuring out which one is misbehaving by turning them on one at a time until the blue screens start to come back. So lots of processes associated, and it can literally be anything that causes the blue screen. So that's a good starting point. Thanks for the text message. Those of you on the line, we'll take your calls when we get back. You can continue to text me. I still got about 3 more that I've got to read here on the air. But you can text 330-729-9977 for the phone lines, or 333-1570 for the text messaging. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Mahoney County engineer and dozens of union employees could be headed towards a strike soon. Teamster members on the engineer staff have been without a contract since last April and say they have more than 24 issues on the table. The walkout could begin as soon as April 9th. Governor John Kasich has signed a bill into law that makes Ohio's summer sales tax holiday permanent. The law provides a 3-day sales and use tax exemption during the first weekend in August. The holiday has been an annual event for the past 3 years. Friends and family gathered on the anniversary of a Powers Way arson where 3 people died in a fire 3 years ago to bring memories of those that were lost in the fire. 10-year-old Corrine Gump and her grandparents, Bill and Judy Schmidt, were killed in that fire. Goshen Township Police arrested then 45-year-old Robert Siebenbach on March 17th of 2015 on a charge of raping Corrine. 2 weeks later, and the day his trial was to begin, that house caught fire.
In sports, the Cavs beat the Pelicans 107-102 on the ice. Penguins take on Montreal tonight at 7 p.m. Baseball, the Indians and Mariners today at 3:37 on News Radio 570 WKBN. The Pirates, they beat Detroit 13-10 in 13 innings. They'll both take the field today in Detroit at 1 o'clock. From the all-new and 2018 Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 3.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Flying out of the Pittsburgh airport, visit Air Marino Airport Parking for valet airport parking and free shuttle transportation. Every day, all for just $6.50 a day, $44.95 first week. I-376 exit 50 to Floggerty Road. For more information, visit airmarino.com.
Hi, Don Perkins from A1 Concrete Leveling and Foundation Repair here. Has unpredictable freeze-thaw winter weather wreaked havoc on your concrete? Settling, cracking, hollow spots are all signs of voids beneath your concrete. A1 offers a full line of concrete services: raising, leveling, pressure washing, caulking, or replacement. From sidewalks to airport runways, residential, commercial, and industrial solutions. Estimates are free. Call 330-788-2700. Ask about our 0% 12-month same-as-cash program.
It's Bernard Daniels' 100th year of serving the Valley, and the savings have never been better. Right now, Bernard Daniels is offering 50% off select Anderson storm doors. That's 50% off. Closeout engineered hardwood as low as $1.35 per square foot while supplies last. And select steel roofing and siding is $2.15 per linear foot. As always, you know Bernard Daniels has your greatest selection of pole barns that they will install. But you got to schedule soon, only at Bernard Daniels in Canfield, bdlumber.com.
Here's why I'm such a huge fan of Simply Safe Home Security to protect your home and family. Now, Simply Safe's home security system is ready for anything that gets thrown at it. For example, if a storm takes your power, well, Simply Safe is ready. If an intruder cuts your phone line, well, Simply Safe is ready. And say an intruder destroys your keypad or your siren, let not your heart be troubled. Simply Safe will still call the authorities and get you the help you need. And here's what I love about this. Maybe you don't need to be ready for every worst-case scenario, but that's what makes Simply Safe Home Security and their system so great. It's always ready. Now, Simply Safe has triple safeguard protection, and that could cost an arm and a leg, but it doesn't. Instead, they only charge you what's fair. You get 24/7, 365 professional security monitoring, $14.99 a month, no hidden fees and no contracts. That's why I recommend Simply Safe to everybody I know. Just go to simplysafehannity.com today. simplysafehannity.com to protect your home and your family. simplysafehannity.com.
Hi, this is Dan Rivers. Americans, we are a busy lot, huh? Always on the move. In the car, in the office, working around the house. We can't sit still. So how do you, as a marketer, connect with those moving targets? Radio. It reaches 93% of Americans each week. People just don't have the time to sit and watch TV. So when you want to connect with all those constantly moving targets, get AM/FM working for you. Just go to iHeartMedia.com.
The clock is ticking. Every day you put off buying life insurance can cost you big time. The older you get, the more you'll have to pay. And a sudden accident or unexpected illness could cause your rates to skyrocket or even make you uninsurable. Beat the clock. Call Select Quote now. No hassle, no obligation. In minutes, you'll have a choice of your best rates from up to 10 highly rated life insurance companies. Richard, 40 years old, takes meds to control his cholesterol. Still, Select Quote got him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. Under $1 a day. Don't risk your family security another minute. Get your free quote now. Just call 800-280-8787. That's 800-280-8787. 800-280-8787. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's.
Cool your home this summer. Call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast from News Radio 570 WKBN.
An iHeart radio station.
Clouds will increase through the day as temperatures climb into the lower 50s this afternoon. Rain chances will increase into this evening and become likely overnight. As temperatures dip back into the upper 20s, rain showers will mix to snow showers towards first thing Sunday morning. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
Now 53.
570 WKBN.com, powered by Donnell Ford, Market Street, Boardman, with new and used cars for you to see every day.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We get to talk about things that are happening in the tech world, answer your questions, and sort of all together, collaboratively, in the public eye. We get to have discussions about, just the stuff in general so that people who are just getting started can hear the verbiage and hear how we use these terms and get familiar with the language, because it's really hard to get into new stuff when you don't speak the language. So either you need an interpreter, grandson, friend down the road, somebody else, and or you could just start learning it yourself. And the very best way to get used to it is to just be around it. Be around people who won't mind explaining a term or explaining a concept to you, has the patience with you. And I built a whole company around that one philosophy, is where I hit the brake pedal and slow things down, and I help you guys make good decisions, and we look out for each other. And so the Valley's kept me in business all along, been really good to me, and in turn, I've been as good as I can be to the Valley. And so through that relationship, we've kept true to it, where we've never turned into, sales heavy, just like regular corporate. This has always been, we've been very pro Youngstown, and Youngstown's been very pro Youngstown Computer. So I really appreciate all of you who listen and who have supported the show from day one and just allowed me to stand next to you while you learn the ropes and go through this and do the self-discovery. Because that's one of the most amazing things, even when we teach classes. For the light bulb to go on and get a concept where they just get it, that's my favorite moment on the planet, is when somebody walked through the door and they just were expecting a regular, routine class where they were going to learn something. But you watch that light bulb go up, and the whole class, I don't care if I taught them another thing, that moment was worth the price of admission. They leave there having added one of the links in the chain. And that link is important. And especially if you have a source like the Youngstown Computer Show and like our classes, where you can get a never-ending cycle of that kind of stuff. The longer you stay around us, the smarter you get, and you can't help it. You absorb it like osmosis, and like I said, then you lose some of that lack of confidence, or you get that confidence so that you can make these stabs on your own without us even being around. And you get better, we get better, and everybody gets to win. All right, let's do these phone calls, and then we'll take some more text messages. 330-729-9977. Let's go to Pat. Pat, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
I first want to tell you we really like your station and love your show. You're
thank
very
you.
informative, and we've learned a lot. I have a question on a network area server for the home without using the cloud. Do you have any recommendations for one?
Like a brand name is what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, so for everyone else, they make these little devices that sort of host storage so that you can plug it in somewhere on your network, and it works as its own compact place to put stuff.
Right.
And they call them NAS, Network Attached Storage. And so pretty much Seagate manufactures one, Western Digital does one, Buffalo. Those are the three big names in NAS. The ones we buy most often are going to be the Western Digitals. These ones, they have a version that can serve as sort of like an external drive and a NAS, or they can just be a NAS. And so basically what you do is you pick your capacity. You want a 2 terabyte NAS. You bring it into your network, and you plug it into your network. Now it's a separate device. It's its own computer where it has its own name. It has its own username and password. It has its own IP address. And so if you get, I think the one that you can even get on the retail side is a 2 terabyte NAS. It costs about $160, and it has an amazing amount of storage for a single drive NAS. So yeah, I would probably stick with one of those three: Seagate, Western Digital, or Buffalo.
Good. Now that's a great tip. The other question I have is we've got a camera to go on the WeatherNet network.
Okay.
And we can't set it up. It just keeps rejecting it no matter what we do to turn off this, turn on that. And could I have a Linksys router, and it's a pretty good one, and it sort of keeps a lot of the garbage out. Could it be the reason it's stopping this camera from hitting the network?
Yes.
I can get it in my house, but I can't get it to go out to the network.
Yeah, your Linksys is your firewall. Okay, so it keeps all of the traffic from outside your house from getting into your network unless you give it the ability to pass by that firewall. You can use port forwarding or NATing or routing to accomplish that. Usually port forwarding is what you're after. Now, the camera is going to have an IP address, and it's also going to have some ports that people from internally and externally can use to be able to get to it. Sometimes it's 8080, sometimes it's a 4-digit number. And what you have to do is find out what ports the camera is using. Then you go into your router, your Linksys, and set up port forwarding so that those ports can get to the cameras. And then that's a matter of the outside world will be able to get to those cameras and nothing else.
That's the thing is I think we can either turn it all off on the security part of it, or we can't just get the one camera in there.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're going to need a router that gives you the ability to pass things through the firewall if it's an all-or-nothing thing where you don't want to turn it off completely.
Not doing that.
Right.
I guess that we'll just give up on it for now.
Well, when you're ready to take it on, let us know. If you can give our office like the model numbers, we'll help you pick out a router, and we'll even help you, get it set up. So give our office a call when you're ready to do it, and we'll be able to pass on better information for you.
I really appreciate your help.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you very much. Have a good day and a good holiday.
You do the same. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so what Pat was talking about is, and we're going to use, these IP cameras are becoming extremely popular from a surveillance and security standpoint. Now, Pat was going to allow a weather service to be able to use her backyard camera to be able to look for weather conditions. So other people who are looking up weather in, Struthers, Ohio, sees that there are a bunch of weather cams out there, and they can see about snowfall and rain and all that kind of stuff, and actually log into your camera and see what your camera sees. Well, you got to be able to tell the service how to get to your camera. So the IP address and the port number that the camera is using is really all it needs. But, take that out of the equation. It could be anything that you allow the rest of the world to be able to see. You could take a server and let the rest of the world be able to get to websites on your server, or email on your server, or FTP traffic on your server. So your router has to allow or disallow that traffic from getting in. As we allow those things to happen, we have to buy devices that keep us safe, but allow that the transport of information to come in and out of there, just the stuff that you want. Most routers that you find on the retail side, they're going to call the port forwarding maybe like gaming or NATing. And so, like when you play network games with other people, sometimes you have to pass that traffic through your router too. So you just, the names might change, but the deal is you want to be able to take a set of ports and forward them to a specific device. So, Pat, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it. More text messages here. Let me go to the next one. The way the world of manufacturing goes like this, the parts are all made by someone else. The logo that gets put on the final product determines the price. You're right. A lot of the companies here that, they're not putting circuit boards together and they're not manufacturing the components. They're assembling it and they're branding. And so we have branding and sales companies here that assemble and make a product that is just made almost all of other people's stuff, other people's manufactured goods. So totally right. We see a ton of that in our marketplace, which the good is that our products are cheaper. The bad is that the manufacturing of those components are being given to other countries rather than workers here. And I'll tell you, the group of people that, the stuff that we're doing with downtown, our primary focus is to first retain the jobs that we already have. I do not want any more jobs going elsewhere. So if we have companies that people want to retire, we are interested in keeping your companies running so the jobs that you've already created stay here. And I know there's a lot of business owners that can't sell or, their company's in distress. Don't give up that company without calling me first. Okay? I want you to call me so that I have a chance at surviving that business and preserving those jobs. Because when I have, the rehabbing of the company and it comes back to life and the jobs are here, I'm going to grow it too. So, number one, I talked to a group of MCCTC students this week. And part of both of my talks here were that we have amazing schools. We have amazing high schools. We have amazing trade schools. We have an amazing university that's sitting down there. You know what they're putting out? Amazingly educated students. Do you know what we don't have here? Jobs for amazingly educated students. So if you want to make the top tier of whatever, whatever selected job or industry or whatever, you're not going to make the top pay rate here. Now, the cost of living, I mean, everybody's, loves the fact that our cost of living is low, but I want to start fighting to have a higher cost of living because we have labor that's being added. We have retained smart people that stay here instead of constantly hemorrhaging our brightest into other markets. So when you come out as a psychologist or IT or lawyer, doctor, whatever you come out with, I want there to be a job at the top part of the pay rate for you so you stay here. So my group, we are going to retain what we already have and make it solid so that I don't want any CEO to be shutting down a company in our area without calling me first. And I'm serious about that because, I've endured too many of my customers that go on a 1 or 2 year, try to offload it to either someone who will buy it or someone who just take it over, and they can't trust anybody to do it, so they close the doors. That's a sin. You've got 20 years of a built business that is the magic sauce, or the secret sauce, the magic behind business and enterprise, and you shut the doors. Right? I don't see loads of entrepreneurs doing high-level manufacturing and in those industries. So once you create that loss for us, we got to catch up again. There's too many of you out there doing it. So please call me first, all right, before you decide to sell it or close it down, and give me a shot at keeping it going, because I'm all about keeping the jobs that we have so that we have our employment, that pool of employment grows, and then we're going to go gangbuster on getting our labor rates going up, getting our pay rates going up, getting the specializations in our marketplace, in our field, instead of constantly losing these people. I've said it 3 times now. It irritates me to no end that the bright kids that I talked to this week, most of them will get an amazing education and they'll have to go elsewhere to actually use it. And that sucks for everybody involved. So again, repeat one time, call me before you make the decision that ends up, and I'm not calling you selfish. I'm not saying you're closing your business and you're doing a disservice. You got to do what you got to do, but at least bring me into the equation. And, there are people right now that we're talking with that I have the ability and we have the skill set to rehab your business, grow your business. And if you want to, take a paycheck and go retire down in Florida while your business, remains whole and has growth and sticks to the principles that you set it out with, that's what we're after and doing. So there's, we have companies here that have the top end of ethics and principles, and we're fighting really hard to infuse the companies that we have influence over with those same virtues and those same principles. So this is magical stuff we're doing in this area, and that's why I get kind of talk fast and loud when I get real passionate about it, because this is the stuff that's coming next. And like I said, very excited about it. But again, call me before you do anything silly like close up a business that has, a great product and great employees, because we're going to do something about it. All right, another text message that came in. I'm sorry, I rambled on that one a little too long. All right, I got to put this one in order. I have to say that the Youngstown area seems to have a complex about cheapness. I have been in stores where people are trying to haggle over the price of shampoo because it was in a discount bin, my mistake. I agree with it. We just had a big discussion about this. The race to the bottom means that we have an $800 phone that we bargained, didn't bargain at all. We just paid an $800 phone while I'm going to, try to haggle over something silly like that, right? What's that mentality, that defensive mentality where we're eroding? That is the defensive mechanism when there is limited resources and lack. When we change the culture where we're going the upswing, where we're going after expansion and growth, there's not a defense over lack. It's not trying to chase it to the bottom to get the goopiest stuff at the bottom of the barrel. We're chasing it upwards where I want there to be so much glut of jobs, right, that we have so much to offer and we're producing so much. We got a line at our border with people who are trying to get in, but guess what? Let's let our value go up before we just dilute what our capabilities are. So we can do that and create so much value here. There's so many bright people with great work ethic. We got all of the infrastructure. We get a head start because we can start operating out of that sort of reduced cost of living, but we can propel that into being out competing against those other areas who are they're wallowing. They're not growing because their cost of living is too high and there's no demand for people coming into it. They're eroding. We're eroding for the wrong reasons. We've got perfect potential, but we're eroding for completely different reasons, and we're going to stop that. We're going to start growing, and you're going to be willing to pay somebody a little bit more for a product because it was made by someone who works on it in your community, and that's one of the principles we're infusing on these companies. So 330-729-9977. We're going to take a break, come back, take some more of your phone calls. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Make your reservations now for Mr. Anthony's Easter Buffet, Sunday, April 1st. Enjoy featured entrees like carved prime rib, carved glazed ham and leg of lamb, a dessert station, and much more. Adults just $25.95, children 6 to 10, $10.95. Soft drinks and tip included, tax additional. Cash bar available. Call 758-5721 for reservations at noon, 1, or 2:30 p.m. Book your 2018 graduation party now with Mr. Anthony's. Visit MrAnthony'sEventCenter.com or call 758-5721.
Hi, this is Dan Rivers, proud to speak for Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks is proud to announce their new Donald R. James Assisted Living Memory Care Unit, designed to preserve the personal dignity and well-being of your loved one. The Assisted Living Memory Care staff simplifies and enhances the activities of daily living for your loved one, so they can focus on living their life with a sense of freedom in a safe environment. If you're looking for a secure place for your loved one with dementia, go to CopelandOaks.com.
Warning: if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-500-8121. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8121. That's 1-800-500-8121. 1-800-500-8121.
All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. That's iHeartRadio. All your favorite music.
This is Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones.
Hi, this is Mick Jones of Foreigner on iHeartRadio.
And iHeartRadio is all your favorite stations. Thousands of the best radio stations from across the country. Plus, iHeartRadio is free. Download the app today. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now 53.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I wish I could do another hour because this topic here alone got everybody woken up and snapped too. But we have plenty more shows to get to this in the future. So if this tickles your interest here, I'm all in on this. This isn't going away anytime soon, and it's not that I'm sharing something that's already happening. This isn't something where I'm getting interested today and stay tuned for it kind of thing. We're doing it, and I'm going to read you a couple text messages that are on that way. It looks like most of you are on board that, this is our home and we're going to make the best of it and we're going to support one another. And it's because of our work ethic and our principles that we're going to stick together, not infight, and all get on the same page that, we're building this thing. Got a tech question. I recently bought a Ring security camera. Ring wants me to buy storage. Is there a way that motions can be stored at home without paying Ring? Their cloud storage is connected to their product. It's not real expensive. I think it's like $2 per month or something like that for their storage. I believe they have a free version. They just don't offer a whole lot of space. I think with the free version, maybe you get a day or two worth of camera footage, and then the paid one, you just get more space, more days that it will record. So your answer is, without paying, yes, you can do the free one, but it's just very limited on how much they'll allow you to record. Next question is, what can you tell me about VPN should you have one? This is interesting. Yes, there's actually a provider that advertises on Facebook that you pay $35 and you will get a lifetime license for VPN. And VPN is essentially this. It is an encrypted tunnel between two places. Okay, so right now, if you're not using a VPN, you're sourced from your router, your house, your internet provider. And so when you make a request, everybody sees your internet service provider making the request, and it can be drawn right to your house as you having made the request. They can tell a lot about you by what you do. It is also unencrypted, so therefore anything you send out, like you send an email that's unencrypted, right? Anybody along the line that has access to the transport of that email can see exactly what's in that email. That's why they tell you, do not put things in email that you wouldn't anybody want to read, like social security numbers and phone numbers, because that stuff gets harvested all the time. So, but encryption allows you to control on your end and the provider control on their end. I had a guy that liked listening to music and audio from Canada. Well, we got a little tiff going with media licensing between our two countries. So a lot of the stuff that's playing that kind of stuff, it gets blocked when it sees you're coming from the United States. VPN, I can buy a VPN connection from a provider, make my connection tunnel to Canada, and then the request looks like it's coming from Canada, and then I can read or I can listen to all the media I want because it's not blocking it based on the source country. So when you're in public places like coffee shops and hotels and any place that you don't control the connection, it's really critical that you have some kind of security measure so that your stuff can't be read by just anybody who might be cruising it. Just because you connect to a Wi-Fi access point that's called, whatever, DoubleTree, doesn't really mean DoubleTree has the access point. I can set one up in the room, wait to connect, and I can harvest anything that you connect to. And that happens. So when you're in public places, just make sure that you have a good VPN. Let's see what else. Any recommendations on any level 3D printers? Or we're going to do a whole segment in our next program about 3D printers. One of those companies that I'm talking about, growing and rehabbing and whatever, manufactures 3D printing. And you guys probably don't realize just how much of that industry exists just in Youngstown, Ohio, just in the Youngstown Business Incubator, and how many connections to it that we have in this area. So I'll give a couple names, but it won't do it justice if I just give a name. Let's talk about it this next time. And maybe if you bring that question, give me a little bit more details on the parts of it that you're most interested in, and then I can couple you with the 3D printer, whether it's a 18-inch media printer versus a 4-foot media printer. All right, great show. I had an amazing time. Thanks for all the contributors and the questions and those of you who texted in. We do have a program next week, and I look forward to talking about 3D printing and all of this other stuff as well. If you have any questions, 330-259-7278. Call Youngstown Computer. We appreciate your business as always. All right, have a great week. Have a great Easter. Take care, all.